Cod fishing, especially in cold water, involves a variety of techniques, the most common of which is trawling. This method uses a large net to be dragged across the water behind a boat, catching cod in large numbers. Another common technique is longline, in which a baited hook is attached to a long line that is lowered into the water and left for a period of time, allowing the cod to bite. In some areas, cod is also caught using traps, which are placed on the seabed and designed to lure the fish inside. Fishermen may also use jerk fishing, in which they drop a weighted bait into the water and move it quickly up and down to attract the cod. A good knowledge of the tides, weather and fish behavior is essential to successful cod fishing. In addition to these methods, some fishermen also practice handline fishing. In which a baited hook is lowered into the water by hand. This method requires patience and skill, as the fisherman must feel for bites and carefully reel in the line. Modern technology has also made cod fishing more efficient, with fish finders and sonar equipment making it easier for fishermen to locate schools of cod. However, sustainable fishing practices are becoming increasingly important as overfishing has threatened cod populations in many areas. As a result, regulations such as catch limits and seasonal closures are enforced to ensure that cod fishing remains viable in the long term. These measures are essential to maintaining healthy cod stocks and preserving the industry for future generations. To further support sustainability, many cod fisheries are adopting more environmentally friendly equipment, such as selective fishing nets that reduce bycatch of other species. Additionally, some fishermen are turning to aquaculture or fish farming, replacing wild-caught cod. Aquaculture helps reduce pressure on wild fish populations while still meeting demand for cod. However, managing these farms requires careful attention to water quality, feeding practices, and disease control to ensure healthy fish and protect the environment. In some regions, cod fishing is also culturally and economically significant, providing livelihoods for local communities and maintaining traditional fishing practices. As global demand for cod continues to grow, finding the balance between maintaining stocks and meeting consumer demand will remain a key challenge for the fishing industry. Education about responsible fishing and continued innovation in technology and sustainable practices are essential to ensure that cod remains a viable resource for many years to come as demand for cod increases. There is an increased focus on traceability and certification to ensure that the fish being sold is sustainably sourced. Many markets now offer certified sustainable cod, which ensures that the fish is caught in accordance with international fishing standards. such as those set by the Marine Stewardship Council, MSC. These certifications give consumers confidence that they are supporting environmentally responsible fisheries and helping to preserve marine ecosystems. Furthermore, climate change poses an increasing threat to cod populations. As warming ocean temperatures and changes in marine ecosystems can affect fish migration patterns and spawning cycles. As a result, scientists and fisheries managers are working together to monitor these changes and adjust fishing practices accordingly to protect cod stocks from further decline. Collaborative efforts between governments, scientists and the fishing industry are essential to meeting these challenges and ensuring the long-term health of the cod fishery. In summary, cod fishing is a complex industry that requires careful management and innovative approaches to sustain both fish populations and the livelihoods of those involved in the trade. Sustainable fishing practices, responsible consumer choices and global cooperation are essential to preserving this valuable resource for the future. In addition to addressing sustainability and environmental concerns, there is also an increasing emphasis on educating consumers about the importance of choosing sustainably sourced cod. Many seafood suppliers and restaurants are increasingly transparent about their sourcing practices. Helping to guide consumers in making responsible choices. Public awareness campaigns and eco-labels are encouraging consumers to think about the environmental impact of their food choices, fostering a greater sense of responsibility for conserving marine ecosystems. Furthermore, technological advances are playing a key role in increasing the sustainability of cod fishing. Improvements in fishing gear design, such as bycatch reduction devices and more efficient nets, are helping to reduce environmental impacts. GPS and satellite tracking are also being used to monitor fishing activities and ensure that vessels are operating within managed areas and adhering to sustainable quotas. As global demand for seafood continues to grow, the cod fishing industry must continue to adapt and be resilient to challenges such as overfishing. Climate change and changing consumer expectations. Integrating sustainable practices, responsible management, and innovative technology will be essential in conserving cod populations, protecting marine biodiversity and ensuring that future generations can continue to enjoy this iconic fish as part of the ongoing efforts to support sustainability. Many cod fisheries are also exploring collaborative management approaches. These involve cooperation between local communities, governments, and environmental organizations to make decisions on fishing practices, quotas, and marine protected areas. By involving all stakeholders, these approaches ensure that decisions reflect the needs of both the environment and the people who depend on fishing for their livelihoods in some regions. Fishers are being trained in sustainable practices through workshops and educational programs. Helping them adopt more environmentally friendly techniques. This grassroots approach can help ensure that the fishing industry remains viable in the long term, while also encouraging responsible stewardship of marine resources. Another important aspect is the growing trend of sustainable aquaculture for cod. While wild cod populations continue to face challenges, aquaculture has the potential to provide a reliable and sustainable supply of cod, provided it is managed responsibly. Aquaculture farms are being designed with improved water quality controls, disease prevention strategies, and waste management systems to minimize their environmental impact. Additionally, feed for farmed cod is becoming more sustainable, with research focusing on plant-based or alternative protein sources to reduce reliance on wild-caught fish. Ultimately, the future of cod fishing and aquaculture lies in finding a balance between meeting global demand, preserving marine ecosystems, and ensuring the economic viability of the fishing communities that depend on this resource. Through continued innovation, collaboration, and a commitment to sustainability, the industry can work towards securing a future where cod remains an abundant and responsibly managed species. Looking ahead, there is a growing recognition that the future of cod fishing hinges not only on technological advancements, but also on the restoration of marine ecosystems. Overfishing, habitat destruction, and pollution have put immense pressure on cod populations. And as part of recovery efforts, many governments and environmental organizations are focusing on habitat restoration and the creation of marine protected areas, MPAs. These areas restrict fishing activities in critical spawning and breeding grounds, allowing cod populations to replenish naturally. By safeguarding these areas, the chances of sustainable cod fishing increase, as healthier ecosystems support the overall well-being of marine species. In addition, fishery certification programs, such as the MSC, have made significant strides in creating a global standard for sustainable seafood. These programs ensure that fisheries are adhering to rigorous environmental, social, and economic criteria, as more consumers and businesses opt for certified sustainable cod. It encourages the industry to adopt better practices that benefit both the environment and the economy while challenges remain. The collective actions taken by governments, fisheries, conservationists, and consumers can make a significant difference in ensuring that cod fishing remains a viable and sustainable industry for future generations. The key to success lies in collaboration, education, and a shared commitment to preserving our oceans for both people and wildlife. By fostering sustainable practices, advancing responsible aquaculture, and investing in marine conservation, the future of cod fishing can continue to thrive within a balanced and healthy marine environment. Furthermore, the role of scientific research and data collection cannot be overstated in ensuring the future of cod fishing. Advances in marine biology and fisheries science have improved our understanding of cod populations, their migratory patterns, and their responses to environmental changes. Through research, scientists are able to track fish populations more accurately and predict trends that could affect their availability. This data is essential for establishing effective management policies, such as catch quotas and seasonal closures, that help to prevent overfishing and allow stocks to recover. The implementation of adaptive management strategies is also becoming increasingly important. These strategies allow fisheries to adjust regulations and practices based on real-time data, ensuring that cod populations are not overexploited in the face of changing environmental conditions. For example, if cod numbers drop due to climate-induced changes, fisheries can quickly modify their practices to allow the species to recover. International cooperation will also play a critical role in ensuring that cod fishing remains sustainable. Cod populations do not recognize national borders, which means that global collaboration is required to manage their conservation effectively. Agreements between countries that share cod fishing grounds are crucial to setting uniform standards and ensuring that sustainable practices are followed across international waters. Regional fisheries management organizations, RFMOs, are vital in coordinating these efforts, as they work to harmonize fishing regulations and monitor compliance. Ultimately, the key to sustainable cod fishing lies in the ongoing combination of scientific innovation, responsible fishing practices, international collaboration, and consumer education. As long as these elements continue to work together, there is hope for the long-term health and stability of cod populations. Ensuring that future generations can continue to benefit from this valuable marine resource as the global population grows and the demand for seafood continues to rise. It's increasingly important to focus on the resilience of cod fisheries. In response to this, many cod fishing industries are exploring more sustainable business models that prioritize both environmental stewardship and the welfare of fishing communities. For example, Community-based fisheries management has gained traction, where local stakeholders play a key role in the decision-making process regarding quotas, fishing methods, and marine conservation measures. This approach fosters a sense of ownership and responsibility, motivating communities to implement sustainable practices that benefit both their livelihoods and the ecosystem. Another emerging trend is the growing interest in blue carbon initiatives.